In the lively village of Nkoba, nestled among rolling hills and endless fields, two cousins, Amara and Lutho, grew up in a close-knit family. Both 13 years old, Amara was a curious girl with a love for learning, while Lutho was her adventurous partner in mischief. They lived in a shared compound with their parents, where life was simple, filled with daily chores, school, and evening storytelling around the fire. But before we dive into what happens next, I'd love to know, where are you tuning in from today? Drop a comment below. Their innocence began to waver when a sleek, modern smartphone found its way into their home, a gift from an uncle who had visited the city. Initially meant for family communication, the device soon became an endless source of fascination. Amara and Lutho discovered the vast world of the internet, stumbling upon content far beyond their comprehension. Curiosity turned into secret exploration. At first, they whispered to each other about what they had seen, trying to make sense of it. Over time, these conversations turned into actions, as the cousins mimicked behaviors they didn't fully understand. They were children, unaware of the boundaries they were crossing. One quiet afternoon, while their parents were working in the fields, Amara's mother walked in on them. The shock on her face was unmistakable, and her trembling voice called the rest of the family home. That evening, the household gathered in the main room, the air heavy with tension. Amara and Lutho sat side by side, heads bowed in shame. Their fathers, stern but visibly heartbroken, paced the room, while their mothers tried to suppress their tears. Finally, Amara's father spoke, his voice steady but filled with sorrow. "What you have done is wrong, but it is we, your parents, who bear the blame. We brought this phone into our home without teaching you how to use it wisely. It has shown you things you weren't ready to see." Lutho's mother added, "Your bodies are sacred and deserve respect. What you did could harm you in ways you don't yet understand. This isn't love. It's confusion caused by things you should never have been exposed to at your age." The cousins were reprimanded, not with destructive anger, but with firm love. Their parents explained the importance of respecting one's body, understanding family values, and waiting for the right time to learn about such matters. They spoke about trust, boundaries, and the consequences of their actions. In the weeks that followed, Amara and Lutho were closely supervised. The smartphone was locked away, and their daily routines became more structured. Their parents also made efforts to foster open communication, encouraging the children to share their thoughts and struggles. Gradually, the cousins began to heal. They returned to their schoolwork, their laughter, and their shared dreams. Yet, the lessons from that day remained etched in their minds, shaping their understanding of respect, love, and responsibility. As time passed, Amara and Lutho often reflected on that pivotal moment. It was a painful but necessary turning point that taught them the value of guidance and forgiveness. The village of Nkoba, however, was not as kind. Word of the incident spread quickly, whispered from one household to the next. Friends began avoiding them, and neighbors cast judgmental glances. Determined to turn this challenge into a learning opportunity, their parents called a village meeting. They invited elders and other families to discuss the growing influence of technology on their children. Amara's father addressed the gathering with humility and resolve. "Our children made a mistake that could have been avoided if we, as parents, had been better prepared for this new world. Technology is no longer a distant idea. It's here, changing how our children see the world." Lutho's mother added, "Shame will not solve this problem. We must guide our children, teaching them how to navigate a world filled with challenges we didn't face at their age." The meeting sparked intense discussion. Parents voiced their fears and frustrations while elders shared their wisdom. One elder said, "Tradition tells us to protect our children, but protection isn't enough. We must teach them how to live in the world they inhabit, not the one we grew up in." The village decided to implement a community program. Parents agreed to supervise phone usage and introduce regular discussions about values, boundaries, and respect. The local school partnered with the village to host workshops on technology's benefits and dangers. Meanwhile, Amara and Lutho worked to rebuild trust. They volunteered in the village, helping with chores and tutoring younger children. They spoke openly with their peers, warning them about the risks of the internet. And Lutho turned their experiences into a mission. Amara became a teacher, passionate about guiding young minds and advocating for safe technology use. Lutho became a community organizer, creating programs to educate families about the digital age. Together, they collaborated on a project, a book titled Asterisk Through the Shadows, Navigating the Digital Age Asterisk. It shared their story and lessons learned, becoming a valuable resource for other villages. Their past, once a source of shame, became a beacon of hope and education. The bond between Amara and Lutho matured into a healthy, sibling-like relationship built on mutual respect and shared purpose. Years later, as they stood together at the opening of a new youth education center, Lutho smiled at Amara. "We've come a long way since that day, haven't we?" Amara nodded. "We have. And if our story helps even one child, it was all worth it." In the heart of Nakoba, their story became a testament to the power of forgiveness, family, and the ability to turn mistakes into lessons that light the path for others.